So good morning, everybody. I am Stephen Foskett. I run the Tech Field Day event series. Over here also we have Tom Hollingsworth, who helps me with this. At the registration desk, you probably saw Claire Chaplis. She is our event manager, and we are the ones who put this whole thing together. We are very, very glad to welcome you back to our second or maybe even third SDDC Symposium. Way back in 2011, we did a OpenFlow Symposium. Then last fall we did an SDDC Symposium here in Santa Clara, and now we have our third SDDC Symposium. The goal of this event is essentially to get people talking about the reality of SDDC. We're trying to make sure that everyone that it's not just subsumed by marketing. So I promise you that every one of our speakers has been briefed and scolded and upbraided and told not to go too deep into selling product and to focus instead on the technology and the practical application. And I'm really looking forward to what they have to say. So I also wanted to call your attention to basically who we are. Again, we are Gestalt IT is the name of our company. We run the Tech Field Day event series. Like this event, Tech Field Day is live streamed over the internet at techfieldday.com. Unlike this event, Tech Field Day is a very intimate event with a dozen independent bloggers and podcasters and speakers and so on, talking to companies about products and technology. Here in the front row, we've got our Storage Field Day delegates. Hey, Storage Field Day delegates, raise your hand. If you like to, there's some in the back there too. If you'd like to tune in for the rest of the week online at techfieldday.com, we're going to have more discussions with these folks and interesting technology companies. But for now, we're going to be streaming the SDDC Symposium online. As I point out here, we are on Twitter at hashtag is SDDC14. I welcome you all in the audience to speak out. Raise your hand. We have a roving mic, and we welcome you to be part of this discussion. The goal is not for you to sit and be quiet and listen to us all day. The goal is for this to be a real discussion. So please, raise your hand. We'll bring the mic over to you, and you'll get a chance to ask questions and put in your feedback as well. I'm going to now turn it over to Tom, and Tom is going to tell us all a little bit about the agenda, and then we're going to get started. So Tom, why don't you go through the agenda?
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for all coming today. We really appreciate it. This year we're going to break up the talks just a little bit. We're going to start off with the first generation of SDDC leaders. It's going to be Mike Dvorkin from Cisco, Andy Warfield from Coho Data, and Neela Jacques from Open Daylight. Once they've had their chance to speak to you all, we're going to launch right into our first panel, all about architecture. Chris Evans is going to be leading a rousing discussion on that. Then we're going to bring up our next generation of SDDC leaders, which would be Kelly Harrell from Brocade and Thomas Cornely from Nexenta. After they get their chance to speak to you, then we're going to have a big fight over CapEx versus OpEx. And I've already told Omar Sultan from Cisco that I will be providing axes, so whoever wins is the person who manages to lop off the most limbs. Mike Bouchong is going to do his best to keep it somewhat civil. After that, we're going to have a shared lunch over in the expo space with SNIA's DSI conference, so feel free to browse around their expo space and talk to anybody there that you find that you would like to know more about. We'll also have our sponsors represented there as well. Then after that, we're going to have a chance for you guys to ask some Q&A. So if you're too shy to speak up during the event, this is your chance to ask anything you might want to know. After that Q&A, we're going to go to our next set of SDDC presentations. It's going to be Dave Wright from SolidFire, George Simmons from GridStore, and Jesse Saint, and I'm going to butcher this, Laurent from Simplivity. I'm not French, that's her. And then after we're done with that group of presentations from our great sponsors, we're going to have one more panel, and Howard is going to keep order when we talk about real-world SDDC use cases. This was actually our most requested panel. People want to talk about what they're doing to prove that the SDDC is something that just doesn't happen in PowerPoint. So we're going to have a group of great people come up here and talk about their contributions to the SDDC and provide significant real-world examples of how that works. Then after that, we're going to have a little bit more Q&A. For those of you who are still too shy to answer the mic, I might call on you because I'm like that. So we're going to have a few more minutes of Q&A, and then at the end of it, we're going to wrap it all up, and we're going to have a quiz. So anybody who wasn't taking notes, no, I'm only kidding. We're not going to have a quiz. We're going to close everything out, and then we're going to have a shared reception with DSI over in the expo area as well. So you are all more than welcome to join us, and if you want to grab some friends and bring them too, feel free. So that's today in a nutshell. We're going to have talks. We're going to hear discussion, but the most important part is you. So if you have anything you would like to ask or say, please don't hesitate. Raise your hand. We have a mic. We will find you. Your voice will be heard. That's what we want. We want to make sure that you're as big a part of this as anyone else.